She equips leaders with data-driven workforce intelligence and actionable strategies to build resilient talent pipelines, shaping a stronger, more inclusive future for the industry. On the panel, we'll have Christy Miller, who's a geologist with Bar Engineering. She has worked within the mining industry and database management, drilling program oversight, exploration, QA/QC. She serves as Vice President for SME and WIM Utah and contributes it to multiple education outreach committees within both organizations. Additionally, we'll have Carla Osorio, who's the HR Manager and Strategic Business Partner for Global Mining and Minerals Business Unit with Bechtel. She has 18 years experience driving people strategies, leadership development, and inclusive workforce practices in the mining industry. And then Brooke will be joining this esteemed panel moderated by Gabriela. So come on.
I want to acknowledge something important. Many of you are here not just to learn, but to understand what your future looks like in this industry. How you grow, how you stay, and how you contribute to shaping what mining becomes. And for leaders in the room, are you here because you recognize that workforce challenges are no longer a future risk, but a present reality? This is what this panel is about finding new ways to find and retain the workforce needed for the mining projects and operations. As you may know, across the United States and Canada, the mining industry is facing three major workforce challenges: retirement and aging workforce, turnover and retention pressures, shortage of skilled talent. And the numbers are very clear. Listen to this. Regarding retirement and aging workforce. In the United States, more than 50% of the mining workforce will need to be replaced by 2029, representing approximately 221,000 workers. At the same time, according to the SME, the industry will need to add between 11,000 to 13,000 new jobs per year over the next 20 years. The universities in the US graduate only 200 mining engineers per year, while the demand is between 500 and 1,000 annually. And this is the reality. Regarding turnover and retention, millennials represent approximately 36% of the US workforce, making them the largest segment. And the number one driver of employment for millennials is learning and career growth. This is critical because if we want to attract and retain talent, including women, we must rethink career pathways, work environments, leadership, culture. My question for the audience: what surprises you about this data and what doesn't? Where do you see this playing out in your organization today? Who wants to share?
As a student, I feel like we're kind of on the other side of this because a lot of that data is the individuals that are in the industry looking for us. But what we see more than anything, and I've noticed this over the last 2 to 3 years since I've been at Montana Tech, is that people keep coming to school or coming to our career fairs and saying, we need you guys, like, we need you guys to stay in school, keep recruiting, all of this stuff. But then when we're looking on LinkedIn or we're going to career fairs, a lot of the time people are telling us, oh, we're actually looking for people to have 3 to 5 years of experience, or they've only been in management, or all of these other things. And then when we do finally find that position that is looking for one of our students as a new graduate, they're putting us through a 2 to 3 year process program where we have to drive a truck for multiple months, and we have to be with the operators for multiple more months. And then when we finish that cycle, it doesn't seem like we have a great opportunity to move into the engineering side of the spectrum until they have an opening and a want for us. So we just have to continue that training cycle until they want us. And that makes it a little bit more discouraging for students to want to enter this side of the industry, because we have great data to represent that we are here and that we are wanted, but then we're not seeing that reflection upon the graduation time.
What I will say is that I agree with the data you just shared, and the reasons I'm saying that is because back in Kenya, I'm from Kenya where I studied. When I was a student, we were 72 students in my engineering. All of us graduated, but if you go back to the same school, we have less than 5 students doing the same course. You know the reason why? Few of us managed to secure jobs. So I think the data is right, but we are only looking at the US. The companies explore outside the US? Probably no. If we can make this pathway open to anyone, anywhere in the world, we still have enough people outside there.
I had no idea that mining was even had an engineering program when I came there 3 years ago. What surprises me is that the leadership, the CEOs are not actively recruiting young people in schools to go into mining. And the diversity that I see within mining of jobs, I was well aware of the data. I've been aware of that data for some time. And I guess the question would be is, how can those in industry push the information up to the directors and boards to say, hey, we need to reach out because critical elements are needed and workforce is needed.
We offer an internship program at Capstone, and I have seen personally lots of people employed engineers from that internship program. So I think if you're not offering something like that in the mining area that you are working in, that you really should tap into it, because they come for the summer, they do their internship program, they go back, and it's been really successful. We have quite a few, I operate even in my area, and we've had quite a few engineers accept positions from that internship program.
This is probably for Christy, just because this is kind of your wheelhouse. Prepare yourself. One of the things I hear is about, we need so many people right now. It's kind of like wine. We are trying to call upon an investment that we didn't make necessarily 10 years ago, that we're trying to cash out now. How do we shift the value addition pipeline for student recruitment and young person recruitment to building kind of the romance of the mining industry, the romance of geology, the fun? How do we instill that in students so that when they grow up, they want to go to geology school, they want to go to mining school?
I want to show some, let me see, some statistics. Because I was surprised about this. Reasons women join the mining industry, let's take the first two. Type of variety of work and work growth opportunity. And why women are leaving mining? The work is not interesting. Skill set mismatch. So they are the same reasons. So what is happening? Now I will ask the same question to all of you. Does this surprise you? And if yes, why? If not, are you living this?
I will share with you, I'm applying for jobs, and the set of skills are changing. Like, now it's more data-driven. We need to know, like, programming languages, and we need to know new skills that in our programs in the universities we don't have. As mining engineers, as mechanical engineers, we don't have these programs. So I think the industry must work with the universities and then kind of bring those skills to put into the table and put that in the classroom. Thank you.
My name is Trina Burwise. I'm with WIM Minerals. We have a wonderful, active women support group at our company. We just had a conversation last month that I found fascinating with our HR folks, and what they said, I'm listening to the folks that are talking about applying for jobs right now. Men tend to apply for a job that they have maybe 40 to 60% of the requirements, but women apply only to things they think they need. 85 to 100. So my first piece of advice to everyone that's looking for a job is apply to everything. Then the next piece of advice would be for you folks is look at everyone. The problem we have, the disconnect we have is the computer programming that decides what person, what resume, what interest, what education gets to go forward to a human being to look at. Thank you.
If you see 14.5% of women in the US work in the mining industry, but in Chile it's 23%, and in Mexico 18%. What is happening? What are we missing? We need to raise these numbers. And how are we going to do it? Or what do you think that we are not at least having the same numbers of other companies in the Americas?
In my experience, I used to work for 7 years almost in Mexico. And I know that these numbers maybe look good, at least a little bit higher than in the United States. But it doesn't represent how many people, how many women are leaving jobs in Mexico for different reasons. I tried to participate this year with one conference, but I know that there's a lot of good subjects. And one of these reasons is the maternity leave. In my group of women that we used to work in a huge mine in Mexico, we were, for example, 10 people, 10 women working in a team. From those 10, 6 of them leave for maternity leave and never come back. Because for the different schedules that we had and the different opportunities that wasn't given to them, they were not able to come back. And I think these numbers need to be reflected also with how many of these 18% or these 14% are keeping the jobs, are remaining in the rest of the years in the mining industry. Because it is important to know how much we are right now and how many we are hiring, but it is also important what we are doing to maintain this amount of people, amount of women working with the opportunities that we give to them.
Yeah, thank you. How we retain our talent?
Hi everyone, I'm Carla, as Gabriela said, I'm coming from Chile, from Santiago. So right now we are almost in the 24%, so I am very proud of that percentage. I can say that in Chile 10 years ago the percentage was 8%. So what we have been doing in Chile is that 10 years ago the government put all the mining companies and the suppliers and the vendors and everyone to work together. So we signed a commitment and we agreed that we will be together to increase the numbers of females in the industry. And we have been working on that. In Chile as well exists a gender system that is the Norma 5262. I don't know if you have been hearing about it, but it's a type of an ISO norm. So that helps us to review our HR processes and find where we are failing in recruitment, in development and management. So we have been working to find that opportunities and also to measure the results. So the majority of these mining companies has been applying this And also the government create a roundtable with all of these companies that we met every month. And also I think that other thing that has been key in this growth is the Women in Mining Chile, that also was created 10 years ago. And this networking or these organizations that gave us networking, visibility, also has been helping the women in the positions and in the company. So definitely something that is not a challenge that we are facing by ourselves, we are facing in the industry. So one advice that I can give is that we work together, right?
Exactly. The industry, government, associations, working together. And one of the key elements is retention. That's what, at least the stats, we can see that women enter the workforce, but after 5 years, they quit. So we need to know why we are doing in both sides, because the company and the talent, why you are doing also for yourself. Do you really know what you want? Because maybe you begin working here, but it's not what you wanted at the end. So also doing talking to yourself and saying, what do I really want? It's a great industry, and I think that working in the mining industry is a great place for many people.